Hey viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. There's a 2014 Ford Taurus up here on the lift and needs a rear wheel bearing, and there's something going on with these rear brakes. They've gotten excessively hot at some point. I don't know if it's a caliper or if the pads are just hung up in the bracket. We're going to tear it apart, see what we find. I have no idea how many brake jobs the SMA audience will tolerate. We're going to keep going until we reach that limit. Like I said, I don't know what's happening over here yet. I haven't tore it apart, obviously. We will see momentarily, I'm sure, if I can figure out how to get a caliper bolt out. Seems to be kind of stuck in the caliper here. So we'll just unwind the pin. There she goes. Take this off before we get too far. We'll see if we can wind this caliper in. Now, some of these Fords, the left side caliper spins in backwards. I don't know if that's true on this one. Let's find out. Pad definitely is not seized up, at least the outer one. I'll get something to show you guys. Or she is smoked. Clean off. There's that. So that pad is done gone, got crispy. Like I said, I don't know if this one is left-hand thread or not. We'll try to give it just a little spin here. So we're using a caliper wind back tool. These are screw-in. We'll get it in there. We'll give it a little turn. Get it lined up in the groove. Give them a metric crescent wrench. Huh. Well, it is a right-hand thread and it's turning in nice and easy. I guess we better straighten up the boot. So on these, the boot has a tendency to get wound up. So what I do is get a pick, keep it pointed towards the caliper. We'll see if we can't get underneath it without damaging the rubber here. Come on, little fella. Let me switch hands. There we go. So I get underneath it. I just lift up the lip a little bit and give it a little toot of the good stuff from the green can. That keeps it slippery enough so when we spin this piston, the boot doesn't get all wadded up. There. It dries quickly, so work semi-fast, I guess. Yeah, that thing's pushing in nice and easy. It's interesting. I wonder what caused those pads to get fried. Now when you're pushing this in, you have to end with one of the pins on top so it lines up with the new pads. We're just about in all the way up, so we're in all the way. We just happen to end up with a pin on the top, so the pin of our tool, you know, is right straight on top because the brake pad has a pin in the bottom of it also. We can look at the worn out pad here, this pin here, so when we stick our caliper back on, it'll go, you know, in that bottom groove, like so. Get some of the junk out of the grooves there. Piston face is actually pretty clean. Very interesting. Now for the proper introduction. I didn't get you on the first go round. Alright, fancy. Here's on there clean. We'll pull the bracket off. And I hear what you're saying. Everybody's saying that the hose is collapsed, but I doubt that, or we would have had a really hard time pushing the piston back in. So your brake hose can actually go bad. Not so much on later model stuff, but on older stuff you'll see it. The hose will collapse and it'll actually act like a check valve. Lets fluid into the caliper, but not back out. I don't know if this inner pad is seized up. Not too bad. Interesting. So this bearing here is super noisy, you know, especially with the weight on it driving down the road. So I guess we can get that peeled off. She looks super crusty. So there's only one bolt. Looks like it's gonna be a piss pot. It's this one here, because it's right behind the shock. The rest of them, we should be able to get with an impact. And grab a wrench. See if we can take this one off first. I have to wrench that little guy all the way out, and the threads stick through the bearing, so it's probably going to come hard for a little ways. Not too bad with super fast wrenching skills. Let's see if we can do these the easy way. Easy. Lost my light. Alright, let's go get big nasty. I think it's going to be in our best interest to remove the heat shield. Of course, it won't come off, but we can get it out of the way of the bearing, because once we start beating on this bearing, it's going to want to rotate, and there really is not much room to allow it to rotate without hitting the heat shield, and we're going to end up just bending the snot out of that thing. So it looks like there's 3 bolts. I think they're all going to come loose, and they do. Look at that. So I'll work on getting these out. We'll leave the shield laying loose against the hub, and then we'll come in with the air chisel, aka Big Nasty. We'll hit it, let it spin in a circle. That'll break it loose, and then we'll beat it out of there. You're going to need a pair of these. You're going to want some of these. You can hear it. It's about to get real. Might have better match. It's time to get a bigger air hammer. Just what we do. Beat it, spray it. Oh, baby, talk to me. Oh. That ain't gonna do anything. Makes me feel good. So why am I hitting it this way? Because typically you get them to rotate in the knuckle and then you beat them off. If you get them to spin just a little bit, that's all you need. Big Nasty's never been defeated. So this is a tough one. Awesome. Yeah, an idea. There's always that one kid on the playground. Bigger, stronger, faster, meaner. You just have to be smarter. So, we're going to try to beat him. I really wish I could get this heat shield off, because I'm thinking we can use our rotor drum hub puller, because these are bearings for an all-wheel drive, so we can actually, you know, we could pull on this face if we had to without fear of the bearing coming apart, but it'd be nice to get some tension on it from the backside. Now we can't swing at the backside with a sledge because, well, you can't, there's just no room. There's also no room to swing at it, you know, in this direction and hit the back of the hub. What I'm thinking, it's gonna be kind of thinking outside the box, is we're gonna slip the backing plate because we got to get it off. Not to fear, we will fix it one fashion or another, even though I don't think it really matters because it's still bolted on. Cover your eyes and your ears. Slit. And I don't know if that's going to allow us enough room. I was hoping we could sneak it behind there enough to get it out. You don't know until you cut it, I guess. So let's go like this. I'm going to bend it a little. Don't you worry. Oh, people are going bananas right now, I'll tell you that. But we do what we have to do. So we have that off. We'll gingerly bend it back. We could easily repair that. We'll put it back on. No worries. Now we can see what we're after. And what I'm curious, we have the Astro 78 830 rotor puller apparatus, but it also comes with a few other bits of kit. Let me show you. It comes with their version of a hub grappler, and that's what I think we're going to be able to use. So we're going to go like this. Take that off there. Stick that in there. I think that's where it goes. Maybe, perhaps, like so. We'll stick these little guys on here. This is going to allow us to put some tension on it, some much needed tension. Oh yeah, this is usually when things get kind of real. Let me show you. I'm going to stick that here. Forcing screw. What else we got in here? We've got a nut. We got both of these nuts. So we can use that. And then we'll use, this must be, probably should read the directions. This has got to be like some kind of washer bearing apparatus. And I think we'll be able to use this on the back side. Let me give it the reach around. Classic move. Get the big one. Bigger's always better. Let's see if this works. Now this will not work in every type of bearing application, because typically if you push on the inside of the spindle, so this outer hub, in a bearing, and let's say you push it, all you gotta do is push it off. And it's not gonna benefit you at all. So what I'm thinking, if everybody's following along, we're gonna go like so, like that. Stick this in the hole. Oh yeah, that's right, baby. Do you reach? Oh, she does. This is going to be epic. Stick this like here. I'm going to put this spacer on the back side. Ta-da. Stick this nut on the back side. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I should have some kind of safety device here. Now we're going to get a big honking socket for this. We're going to tighten the crap out of it. And it's not hitting our speed sensor, so that's good. We'll tighten the crap out of it if it doesn't just blow the whole thing off. We'll get some tension on it, and then we'll give her a little jiggle with Big Nasty. And technically, it should come off. Right size it. Okay, here we go. Everybody cover your eyes and ears. Oh man, I feel it. Oh, it's building, the suspense. Alright, that's about as much tension as I want to put on it. Now let's whack it with Big Nasty. Oh, this thing is scaring me. Stand back. it's off. And nobody got hurt, and we won. So that is kind of using this tool in an unconventional manner. Kind of what it's meant for, to a certain degree. Now, if you wanted to keep that from going flying across your shop, potentially causing a hazardous situation, all you would do is put a couple bolts in the backside to accommodate that. However, we beat the piss out of this thing with Big Nasty, and my bolt holes really ain't circular anymore. Had I known it was gonna, you know, do what it did and be seized in there, we would have, you know, executed this plan first. Okay, yeah, easy. Wheel bearings, super easy. Just kind of blows your mind what just that little tiny bit of corrosion will do. You know, this is only in there, what, maybe 3/4 of an inch, but just that little bit of crust, that's it. It can ruin your days. Now that it's out, we're gonna clean this up a little bit. I don't know where we left off. I went and ate some lunch, but this looks like a good spot to start. This little guy will come out or not. It'd be nice if we get it out of our way. It's like your first day using a wrench there, fella. Not used to these old-fashioned tools. We don't want to break it, that's for sure. But we do want to give it a little wiggle. If we can get it out, it'll be a lot easier to clean the corrosion out of that hub. But I doubt it's going to want to cooperate. You'll give it the benefit of the doubt, though. Oh, maybe. Oh, look at that. Psh. Say no more. Now she comes. Shiny. This is just the wheel speed sensor, obviously. Stick that back in there. Stick the bolt back in that. We'll go fix our heat shield or dust shield, and we'll put that back on. Should be able to fix that, no problem. So I really saw no other way to do this. I don't know what you guys saw. Gonna flatten that back out. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. It's pretty well flat. I think we just put a little tack on that, which technically, I don't know, we could probably just bolt it back to the car, but we'll try to restore it to its semi-original condition. Oh, let's see. Get out the tacker. Shine up some rust. Hopefully. The clamp's getting a little crappy. Let's put this hole there. We'll see if we can jump a little spark across there. Hopefully. Tips might have worked it up from last time. Alright, close your eyes. Hey, we bridged the gap. Alright, let's get some eye protection. Turn the welder all the way down. It's about as thin as toilet paper. Enough for the girls I run with. A little bit of black paint, they'll never know we were here. Wish I had some black paint with a rusty hue. Then they would really never know. Let's see, we made it. Oh, look at our spot that we shined up. Look at that. Boom, just like new. Hopefully prevent this from happening again. Because if it keeps it long enough and it doesn't rot apart, we will be doing this again, that's for sure. Oops. We'll wait at this go. It's going to have to go. Went this way, right? No, it didn't. I'm so confused. It goes this way. Look at that. We'll definitely put this on before we put the bearing on. Got our new bearing here from Napper. Not a sponsor. Came with a new axle nut socket. Bolt nut. I don't know what I'm looking at. Look at that. Look how easy that goes in now. Jeez. Corrosion. Like I say, and these are the bolts that you would put in had you wanted to prevent it from flying across the shop. Sounds like my fluid film can is losing its pizzazz. Make sure you tighten them bolts to factory specs. I'll give her a good coating of lanolin in here. Keep you from getting too nasty. Guess we don't need to do in there, do we? We'll go get our rotor. Get that baby on. We got our rotor here from Napper. Again, not a sponsor. What is that stuff? I think it's got a mushroom growing on it or something. Some kind of weird stuff. You want to use torque setting 1 on these screws. I don't know what this stuff is. Mystery white goo. Well, at least we're not in a motel room, I guess. Got a caliper bracket here, an old Dave. Old fashioned this one. Too much stuff. We're going to use our caliper file. Now, if you guys didn't see these on What's Up Wednesday, that is the company that makes these. And these things are the bomb. Is that upside down? It is. There's that. German made. Absolutely phenomenal. And that's what these things are made for. It's caliper brackets. And they work great. A little scraper on the end so you can get in here. Scrape the rust like so. And then you can just get in and dig through the rust. And they're quite aggressive and they work very quickly. Oops, just got to get the hardware off. Doesn't take much. Beats the heck out of using the old-fashioned style file. Your double cut bastard, I call it. I don't know if that's a real file name, but it's what we used to say in school. I think just so we could say the word bastard in shop class, you know. Give me that bastard file. That's it, and we take it over to old Roger, the grinder, shine her up, we're good to go. get some of our purple goo. Go on the caliper bracket. Hopefully slow down that rust process a little bit. You guys know the drill at this point. We'll do that. What did they say? FWIW, for what it's worth, if we were texting this to someone. Son of a hoo-ha. Them sons of monkeys. I'm missing one piece of hardware out of this kit. Freaking nap done ripped me off. Good thing they're not a sponsor, so I have to reuse a piece of the old hardware. Now I just shined her up on Rogers. You can hear her winding down. I have no other choice. They don't have another set of pads in stock. Sons of monkeys. If they were a sponsor, we'd have to come up with some kind of excuse for them, but we're not. They're not. So we're not gonna. You done messed up, Ron. Our pins still look nice and greasy. Both pads have the little button on them, so it doesn't matter which one's in, which one's out. Neither one of them have squeakers or any other identifying characters that make them specific inside or outside. Sons of hoo-has. Get our caliper up out of the way. We will get our bracket and find some bolts for it. Here's a couple bolts here. Slide that one down. Now these rotors do not come with any goo on them, so you don't have to use the brake clean. How disappointing, I know. I suppose you could if you wanted to. But they wrap them in that magic paper that keeps them from rusting. I believe it's magical. This thing's wrapped in it, don't rust. I'm gonna buy a car and I'm gonna wrap it in that. See how good that stuff really is. It's like a snotty little air ratchet. So torque these to factory spec. Got our caliper bolts, stick them in our pocket. We'll get this little guy greased up. We just want to grease the piston face, keep it from getting all rusty. Of course, cut down on our squealing too. You know the drill. I think we've already said that. But if it's your first time visiting, welcome. I think I just got grease on stuff I didn't intend to. We'll schlep this over. Can't believe Big Nasty met her match, can you? Should be lots of safety comments though in the comment box, I'm sure. I gotta say, that would have been my preference to put a couple bolts in it had they not been completely hammered flat from Big Nasty. Well, like I say, there's always that kid on the playground, a little bigger, a little stronger, takes your lunch, steals your girlfriend. You just gotta outsmart them, and that's what we did. Sometimes you can heat it, beat it. In this case, we just had to put a little pressure on it, give it a little love tap, and out she came. All right, good to go. Ah, crap, the FedEx guy's here with a semi. What the heck are they delivering on a semi? Make sure your back wheels are tight. The brake fluid is full. You've pumped up the brakes. We'll back out. See what the FedEx guy wants. There. He's dropping off some side steps, running boards for a Dodge. 3500. 4-door, long box. And the guy wanted steps that ran front to rear, he says. Parking lot full of goodness. it, folks. Old Ford Taurus. Oh, my seat's going back. Fancy. 123K on it. 123, 140.3. And that's pretty much it. Wheel bearings, back brakes. Of course, put a couple new tires on it. We took it for a shake. No lights are on. Doesn't shimmy. And all is well. That ends well. Big Nasty met its match finally. We knew it was inevitable. It was coming someday, however. We got it off. And I guess that's it. Nothing more to say. Go down there in the comment box. Leave your questions, comments, criticisms, safety concerns down there. And while you're down there, subscribe, ring the bell, do everything that you do. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.